mental.
Before we continue the video, I'd be forever grateful if you could support the channel by subscribing and turning on notifications. Also press the like button as it helps push the video out to more people and makes me happy. I went to Palm Springs in the US for the launch of this car, and it was insane, although I didn't really have much time with it. I had about 3-4 minutes to be precise. Now I've got a bit more time to really look at it, digest it a little bit. Genuinely, I think one of the most cool looking cars out there, although I can see some people are a bit Marmite with this car because of the massive wing and the kind of carbon fiber little winglet things here, as you can see, whereas these kind of channel air all the way through alongside the side of the doors. But I think this is amazing, and also I like the fact that each individual car has its own number, so you're very unique. Now, as I said earlier on, this car was first unveiled. Well, it was first unveiled at Frankfurt, actually. It was unveiled at the Frankfurt Motor Show 2.5 years ago, and everybody who saw it was quite excited by it. It looked a little bit more aggressive in the kind of prototype custom car that they made, but even so, now that this model has finally made kind of final production, it looks absolutely stunning. When they release this car, they're going to make 3,000, or they've made 3,000 units of the Mini GP3, of which only 575 of them are coming to the UK. You get the same engine that's in the BMW M135i, the new shape, the X-Drive. It's the B48. It runs 306 horsepower and 330 foot-pounds of torque. Now, with the weight of this car, the GP3 is 1,255, so it's about 240 bhp per tonne, which is flipping good, and it's a very nippy little car. Now, the 2-litre turbo B48 engine is not only found in the Mini GP3, the M135i, but it's also found in the Clubman and the Countryman. Now, I've driven the new Clubman, and that has 4-wheel drive, so it makes the 0 to 60 actually quicker than that of this car, because this car comes in at 5.2 seconds 0 to 60, whereas the Clubman comes in at 4.8. Although Mini still claim this as their fastest ever Mini. So in terms of what's changed from the kind of original JCW into the GP3, well, you get lighter pistons, you get new crankshafts in this, you also get a new twin scroll turbo. Obviously it's 306 horsepower. It's around, I think it's around about 40, or no, it's about 70 bhp more than the JCW. On top of new turbos, you also get new rods and a new sump as well. If I take you around the back, the other good thing with this is a true 2-seater car. And as you can see here, we've got no rear seats, completely rear seat deleted. I've got a couple of my stuff here, but pretty big boot space as well. So I guess technically you could call it practical. However, you've got this kind of bar here as well. And I originally thought that this was specifically kind of to add rigidity, but it's not. It's basically to stop all your luggage going to hit your driver and passenger seats. So that's a little disappointing. Would have liked to have seen that actual bar have a bit more of a purpose, although it does look very, very cool. Now, in terms of the wheels that you get on the Mini GP3, you get 18-inch wheels on this car, and we've got the Hankook tyres as well on it. Now, the other element as well to note with this is that the Mini GP3 itself comes with adjusted camber and roll bars to kind of make it more better handling on the track. It's also 10mm lower than the Mini JCW. And as a whole, the only option you get on this as well from an interior driving mode select is you only have sport mode only. So it only comes in sport, it's pre-programmed in sport. You don't actually get any other driving mode. It's lively, isn't it? Wow, okay, that's very interesting. So my first impressions of what this thing is like, on a track it's as smooth as hell, but my word. Okay, yeah, you can really feel the car pulling. These undulations in the road are really pulling the steering a little bit. And I guess that's what you come to expect with such a hardcore track focused car. That's not taking anything away from it, it's very fun. But I can really feel the car. And you have to be on it, you have to kind of concentrate when you're driving this thing. What you get with negative camber and the undulations in the road are really picked up and they're kind of force fed back up through the steering wheel. Well, that was an experience for sure. But in terms of how it feels to drive every day, you know, I mean, that was me pushing on a little bit. Suspension is quite stiff, and I think when you're buying a Mini GP3, if your only purpose is to use this as a daily and not get it out on the track, oh, that's quite stiff, then you might be best off thinking about another car. However, the GP3 gives you the rarity factor, and that is really important for me because you don't see many of these around on the road. Now, in terms of the cabin space itself, so the seats feel very familiar to that on the JCW. You've got some kind of GP stickers, I guess, inside here to give it a bit more of that GP feel, but steering wheel feels the same as JCW. The difference here, I've got a nice kind of digital display which looks the same as what we get on the Mini Electric. I've got a very nice kind of GP car number here, which again limited to the car you are actually buying, so you have that individual look, which is cool. Wow, I'll tell you what, I've driven the M135i, and I'm telling you 100% it's got the same engine as this GP3. I'm telling you what, this little GP3 feels quicker. And it might be because it's so lightweight and hardcore that the sensation of speed is coming through much more. Oh my good God. It's coming much more than when I had the four-wheel drive platform, much more insulated, much more luxurious M135i, I guess. Flipping hell, this is mental. Do you know what this car is? This car is exciting. That's the best thing to put it. It is exciting. It really keeps you on your toes. It does tramline an awful lot. An awful lot. If you're not up to the challenge, then this car will put you into a hedge. You really do need to be mindful of your surroundings and how you're driving it. But when you do really want an involving drive, this is an involving drive. It is very, very cool. I really do like it. Oh man, it's been a while since I've driven a car that is this kind of involving, if I'm honest with you. Other than when I had, I guess, my old Abarth, which was silly tuned, but look at the handling. The handling is very, very impressive. I'm coming around this corner, there is hardly any roll whatsoever, and powering back out, God, that's sensational. Yeah, this is a solid bit of kit. This is a very, very solid bit of kit. I'm impressed, guys. Genuinely, I'm impressed. And for the money as well, some people have said, you know, that 37 odd K, it's a lot of money, but you get a lot of car for your money. Wow, that is tough to keep in a straight line. You get a lot of car for your money. And this B48 engine, actually in this, it doesn't, I guess there's a lot of enhanced sound being pumped through the cabin, but you know, it feels very, very punchy, very responsive. You know, about 300, I think it's 320 foot-pound of torque, and you can feel that all the way up the RPM. As a driver, in terms of my seating position, I'm very, very comfortable. And that's the thing, you know, when you start to look at what Mini deliver, they're able to give you a go-kart feeling, but also in a very premium package. Now, even this, you know, this has got all of the sat-nav, it's got all the climate control, I've got my heated seats, I've got all sorts, but I've got a very stripped out car. Behind me, there's nothing, there's no rear seats, there's absolutely nothing there. We have this kind of strut brace thing, although it is fake, it doesn't really do anything. It's kind of more to stop all of your luggage coming forward and hitting you in the face. But I really like this car. I really, really like this car. Man, that's mental. That is absolutely mental. It reminds me a little bit of my old Alfa Romeo 4C in the sense that obviously from a geometry perspective, the car is set up perfectly for the track, but not necessarily perfect for the road. So the moment you start to push on a little bit, the Mini GP3 turns into a bit of a Frankenstein and just wants to pull you from pillar to post. Under this kind of normal driving, just kind of sticking to normal speeds and not under harsh acceleration, actually it's not too bad. It's very manageable. The road isn't too bumpy at this moment in time. But yeah, no, I just thought I needed to point that one out because it very much does have a couple of characteristical traits that my 4C did. So there we go, guys, a first drive finally of the new Mini GP3. And I am so impressed with this thing, man. I love it for everything that it is, plus all of its flaws. It just brings bags of fun. The character this car brings is just it's just incredible. I've loved this car from the moment I saw it, and that hasn't changed now. Apologies for the wind noise. It's a very windy day. But yeah, guys, so in summary, do I love the Mini GP3? Absolutely. And no matter what we turn around and say, I'm a massive fan of Abarth. I always have been and I always will be. But what Mini have done with that GP have completely taken it into another league. It is absolutely bonkers. But anyway, guys, my name's been Stef. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon on the next video. Take care. Bye bye.